Welcome to Success Superstars, episode number 154, your place for inspiration and the blueprint of success for peak performers just like you. My special guest from San Antonio, Texas today, Matt Wefel. Matt, welcome.
Hey, welcome. How are you, Mark?
Hey, doing amazing, and thanks for taking time to share with us today. Tell the audience a little bit about you and where you're from.
Well, I grew up in Tampa, Florida, and I got into real estate, and I moved to San Antonio in 2006, and always had a passion about real estate. Mm-hmm. And we've closed a really big year here, so it's been wonderful. I've always been passionate about selling property, helping people.
Now, you've had one of your best years ever during a global pandemic. What were some of the factors that helped you maintain momentum? How did you become resourceful and pivot during the pandemic?
Well, I tell you what, it was a scenario just like anyone else, where when everything came together with lockdowns here in San Antonio, and you couldn't really go anywhere. There was about a 2-3 week hiccup where we had several properties under contract. But then for those 2 or 3 weeks, I mean, my phone was just not ringing whatsoever. So I told my wife when it happened, I had no idea how it was going to affect, our real estate company, with our team and just with buying and selling homes, that, I'm happy that things turned around. And now it's been a very busy year for real estate. Everyone's moving here. There's about 1,000 people a day moving to Texas. And, they're all picking, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston. I mean, a couple different companies moved here. South Austin, Tesla just moved corporate over there. Mm-hmm. I got to help a couple employees find their dream home in New Braunfels. And we cover the New Braunfels and San Antonio region of Texas.
Now, as a team leader, what are some of the things from a leadership perspective that you've had to bring to a whole new level during the pandemic?
Well, what makes it hard is we hired a couple people this year, for 2020, and what made it hard was your traditional real estate. There's several different ways you can pick up a client, and one of them is to do open houses. And with everything going on, it makes it really tough. So we do quite a bit of advertising. The group does a lot of advertising, and we're pretty busy all the time. So for a lot of our realtors on our team, we give out several leads, and I'm here for coaching and mentoring as well for them. Right. And for open house, it used to be, open house, shake hands with people. Now you don't want to do that. So of course, if someone does do an open house, you have to have sanitizer, fully masked. In fact, don't even shake hands. Maybe do a virtual hug or an elbow bump. And but people are looking. I mean, right now with rates being so low, 2 years ago we bought our current house and we were at 4.85%. So we just refinanced our current house, and now we're in the twos. And it's a great time for someone to either sell or buy their property anywhere in Texas.
Yeah. Now, what are some of the systems and routines to be as successful as you are and as a leader like you are? What are some of the things that you make sure happen on a day in and day out basis?
Well, I try and hold my team accountable for, having a process in place is huge. When people get into real estate, just in general, there's a lot of bad habits that can start. And it's important to go into a mentorship program or go into an experienced, very good team. If you go into real estate alone, then all you can do is learn from maybe some of the realtors and some of the people that you run into. But, with JPAR, JPAR offers so many different programs that you're never in the dark. It's a great process for any agent that starts with JPAR, if they're brand new or if they've been an experienced realtor for a long time. It's set up for a win-win scenario for everybody.
Well, what are some of the things that you're working on, either personally as a leader or for your team, to put into place into 2021?
For 2021, we finished 2020 strong. We closed right at 11.5 million, and everyone worked really hard on that. So our goal for 2021 is to hit about 15 million and more transactions. And pretty much it's just about taking care of whatever client is in front of you. Sometimes you'll meet someone either at the grocery store, or let's say a lead comes in and you start helping them. It's all about finding out what's important to that person that wants maybe it's their first home, or maybe they bought 4 or 5 homes. But it's important to have a process, to have CRM like KV Core, or any CRM will work, and just be accountable for your time. Because in real estate, everyone thinks it's easy, especially when they get into real estate. They don't see all the hours in the beginning process to eventually get to a couple years down the road to get where you're at.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that any CRM will work if you work it, right? It's just like anything else. If you work, it'll work. Yep. But if you don't work it, you'll just have excuses and reasons like that. Now, what would you like to share most with the audience about running a successful team, being successful, or choosing a real estate professional to work with?
Well, always look in the mirror when it comes to like any realtor that gets into the business, or if they're trying to work on their personal, whatever weakness they look at, like if they're not familiar with a part of town, or if you're not familiar with new home construction, anything like that, always try and challenge yourself every day if you can. When I meet up with a client, and people, a lot of times when you help a client, they won't really tell you what they're looking for. Sometimes they normally do. But when you're looking at different properties with them, sometimes the husband will go left, sometimes the wife will go right. And then I always try and have a meeting of the minds before leaving each house. I have a 1 to 10 system that I run. And normally, depending on if they already told me some of the items that they like, I'll ask both of them from 1 to 10, what do you rate this house? 10 meaning incredible. And I could walk through with them without asking any questions, and I would never know, really what did they like about the house. Mm-hmm. So the husband, the wife, both of them might say, it's a 7. Well, that's going to tell me that it's missing something. So my follow-up question to that client would be, what would make it a 10? And then from there, they'll tell you. Now, if they say it's a 9.5 or 10, then I know I'm pretty much right there. I'm going to write an offer on that property as long as the comps look good and everything checks out. But but having a game plan with a process, having also make sure the person's pre-qualified. That way, if they do, find you on Zillow, or if you're helping them out of the blue, you're not on a $300,000 house when they only qualify for $200,000, because it's going to be hard to go down. It's easier to go up, but it's harder to go down.
Yeah, a lot easier to go up than to go down. And I love your 1 to 10 exercise. That works in so many ways. On a scale of 1 to 10, how did we do today? And anything less than a 9, well, what would make it a 10? Really gets you to a whole new level, right?
Yes. Yeah. When I started in real estate in 2006, I worked for a big team here in San Antonio at Keller Williams. And basically for 2 years, I mentored one of the top agents. And I really just wanted to pick their brain, figure out, looking at strategies. There's so many things that go into real estate, not only on a listing, but working with the buyer. It's about asking the right questions and making sure that, if they're going through a process, you want to always be there for the client. And whether it's like a $50,000 client or a $5 million client that I work, you got to treat everyone the same.
Yeah. No
matter what.
Now, if folks want to reach out and find you, what's the website? Where do they go?
Well, you can go to tororealtygroup.com. If you need to email me, mattwefel@gmail.com, or my cell phone number, 210-845-0722. And we work everywhere in San Antonio, all the way up to New Braunfels, Candy Lake area. And we're just, we work every day. I've got a team of 5 on the team. And, we work every day except for Christmas. So we're there for any client. And if someone on my team is working with a client and they have a day off, then we all kind of work together. Someone will pick up and show that property. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, so you have a backup plan and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's how you get a hold of Matt, who services it's one of the fastest growing cities in America, the San Antonio region. So you're in a great spot. Now, if you're interested in JPAR, they can also reach out to JPAR Ready and schedule a time to talk to any one of our career specialists as well. So Matt, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mark.
And until we see you on another episode of Success Superstars, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. Take care.